Barnett. Florida State 3-1, Hofstra 4-0. The Noles falling to the Gators on Friday night in Tallahassee. A close game with 2 minutes left. Florida State had it within 4. Hofstra needed overtime, but they pull away to beat UMass on the road. Noles in those turquoise uniforms. Chandler Jackson, number 0, the 6'5 junior from Memphis, Tennessee. He flips it up and in for 2.
That's got to make Leonard Hamilton happy right there. Turning that ball screen down up top and just attacking the rim, getting wide in there, right in there.
Talk about Jamir Watkins and the Batman that he is. Could Chandler Jackson be the Robin that provides the scoring punch? As we quickly take a look at the Hofstra starting lineup. Gadsden, Sanders, Davis, Aaron Gurin, and Graham. That three-headed monster at guard can really pour it in.
Yes, exactly. Those guys combined, those 3 guards average 50 points a game.
Early touches here. TJ Gadsden, foul call. Noles, one of the best teams in the country defensively at forcing turnovers. That's going to be a key for them tonight, but they also foul at an incredibly high rate. That could be a factor in tonight's game.
Leonard Hamilton's got that pressure defense back. He's so comfortable with his depth this season that he hasn't had the last 2 or 3 years. So he's really cranked that defense back up.
There's a steal. Bol Bowen in the open court. Noles have a 3-on-1. Quick hands. Bol Bowen stays with it, floats it up, and count it. Taylor Bol Bowen's got the Noles up 4-0. The sophomore from Jericho, Vermont. The potential size and athleticism of a Bol Bowen.
He jumps that passing lane right there. The length is not something you're used to seeing for the Pride from Hofstra, and Bol Bowen taking advantage, finishing the play.
Hofstra head coach Speedy Claxton talked about the Noles' length. He said they're big, they're athletic. We've got to be able to handle that pressure. As you can see, the Noles have upped the ante immediately. Almost a 3rd turnover by the Pride. Traditionally a program who protects the basketball. This season they've had issues at times throwing it away.
Absolutely. They play just like their head coach in Speedy Claxton. Big-time guard, had a successful career in the NBA, won a championship with the Spurs. And these backcourts, he's notoriously had great guards. 3 straight CAA Player of the Years played for Speedy Claxton in the backcourt.
Cruz Davis will check it in. Into the backcourt for Gadsden. Now back to Davis. The transfer from St. John's. Didn't play much last year, just 4 games. Prior to that, started Iona. 5 on the shot clock. Got to get something off. Davis attacks into the lane. Contested turnover. Florida State. The length and athleticism a problem early. Here's Bol Bowen. Jackson attacking mid-range. Jay Jackson count it. Floats it with the right hand. Timeout Hofstra.
The defense is way too much right here. The excitement is killing these guys. And Hofstra is trying to make an adjustment. Hence this timeout they just called, Aria.
Full court pressure shown by Florida State. Something they'll do. They'll pick up 90 feet from the bucket. They call this position that Chandler Jackson's at the bandit.
Talk about this pressure, Aria. It's already forced the turnover. They got 4 of their 6 points off these turnovers.
Gene Aranguren, the sophomore from Venezuela. And you can see already Florida State high up in the grill. Ball denial defense. They get high in the passing lanes. Hofstra, it's going to be an adjustment period early.
Coach Claxton's worried about this size and length, and it's happening right now.
Nice ball inside. Get that out of here. Ewin stuffing it at the rim.
Laid low on the switch. They thought they had it wide open down there. You can see the pass over the top right here. Ewin just comes over from the help side and just spots it out of bounds. Clean, just extends, blocks it away.
Aranguren into the corner, 3-ball up, no rebound. Bol Bowen. Florida State put an emphasis on defensive rebounding after being out-rebounded by almost 20 by the Gators on Friday. Great pass, flush it down, Ewin.
Holt right there, perfect penetration. Ewin waiting in the short corner with the pitch. Teamwork. Leonard Hamilton's got to be fired up the way his bigs are playing right now.
8-0 Florida State. They have shot out of a cannon. Here is Aranguren. Kick to the corner there for Gadsden. Gadsden ball on the deck. Across the lane, kick out. Davis. Guarded well by Boston Holt. Again, under 10 on the shot clock. The length troubling right now the Pride. The attack off the glass, no good. Tipped up, no. Bol Bowen's got another rebound. He looks to trigger the break. Watkins, kick. Jackson steps into a three. Off to the right, no good. Rebound cleared by Graham.
Straight in rhythm, good look. You got to make that open shot or just work the clock and get a better look.
Open three, back iron. Jaquan Sanders. Another three, long rebound, no. And it goes out of bounds. Jaquan Sanders, who can really shoot it, averages over 8 threes attempted per game so far this season. Not shy for Speedy Claxton. We take another look at the flush.
Holt with the penetration. He pitches it right there. Nice to see Malique Ewin get going tonight.
8-0 early for Florida State. Here's Watkins, one of the leading scorers in the ACC. Feeds Ewin in the post. Cross-court pass. Holt steps into a three. Rims out. Rebound, Graham.
Little contact right there. Better be smart.
Hofstra looking to get on the board. Nearing that first media timeout. Great ball pressure. Ooh, foul called on Ewin. Little hand fighting with him and Graham.
These guys, it's a high-level game right now for Hofstra especially, and there's no question Coach Hamilton has got his Seminoles fired up for this game. And it's the intensity, you can feel it out here with these guys early in the game. Coach Hamilton put an emphasis on this rebound, as we talked about coming out of that Florida game where they got out-rebounded significantly.
Three ball, offensive rebound. Another chance here for Hofstra. They're not shy to shoot it from beyond the arc. Couple of boards here in the last couple of moments. That length really bothering him, gets it inside, good ball movement. Still staying with it. Graham, and he's got it. Michael Graham, first points of the game, comes for Hofstra.
Settled himself in the lane right there, didn't get rushed, and used the rim to protect the ball.
The transfer from Elon, and Bol Bowen steps out of bounds right in front of that Hofstra bench. That'll take us to a break. Florida State 8, Hofstra 2, first media timeout. The most fun names in basketball. Speedy Claxton, two-time American East Player of the Year and a veteran in the NBA, Jacob.
He has a phenomenal career with the NBA. At the Spurs, won an NBA championship alongside Tony Parker, CP3, Tim Duncan, and the head coach here, 3 straight 20-win seasons. He's one of 4 head coaches out of the 57 hires since the 21-22 season to win 20 games each season. And his company is Tommy Lloyd at Arizona, Hubert Davis at North Carolina, and Steve Lutz that's done it at Corpus Christi, and he did it also at Western Kentucky, which put him at Oklahoma State. But this is the elite category as a head coach for Hofstra, having been one of their best players ever in the history of school in the Hall of Fame at Hofstra. And he is doing a great job with leading this squad to a 4-0 start with 9 new players on his team this year. Had no idea what he's going to have, and he's got 3 phenomenal guards.
No doubt about it, Jacob. He took over for Joe Mihalich, who he was an assistant coach for at Hofstra. And he talked about the leadership he learned from Tim Duncan, from CP3 in his time in San Antonio, and what he's been able to do is 41 wins in the CAA since joining the conference. They have been phenomenal. And he said, look, the reality is you play for that 1 week in March every year as a mid-major, and everything else is building to get to that point. A lot of heartbreak. Foul number 2 here on Ewin, and that signals trouble for Florida State's defense as the Pride will go to the line.
And then getting out of the gates, getting a strong start tonight. It's a tough one for the big fella Ewin. It's Coach Hamilton and his staff got to be excited, but he comes up. You gotta let him extend. You can't stop his extension there, and he fouls him. And the refs do their job, put him on the free throw line.
Talk about the reality of those mid-majors and heartbreak for Hofstra. They have won the CAA regular season a number of times, only to have it crushed on conference tournament week. Last season, losing in the semifinals. A team that was fantastic throughout the regular season. And there's something that I think Pride fans and Noles fans can relate over is the 2020 season that ended with COVID. 2 teams that won their conference. Hofstra winning the CAA conference tournament as well, never getting a chance to play. They felt really good about that team. It would have snapped the drought since 2001. And so Florida State fans, Hofstra fans, handshake emoji.
It is, and it's a tough break for both schools. Florida State's recovered, they made it the next year, but for a school like Hofstra having to win those games on that one special week to get there and it not getting to capitalize. They're one of the schools that did win their league. They just didn't make a bracket.
2020 can kick rocks.
Right?
According to those fan bases. 15-15.
Speaking of rocks, they were in a rock fight against Seton Hall the other night with Hofstra.
No doubt about it, a 1-point win over the Pirates. Jamir Watkins, 3 straight away, rims out, last touched by a player in turquoise, 7, Jerry Dang. Into the game, as is Alir Malouk, number 21.
Long athlete and Dang and Malouk, reclassified Malouk to get into college early. It's a nice little surprise in a post for Leonard Hamilton and the Seminoles.
Jacob, that length and athleticism really bothered Florida on Friday. The one area Florida State wishes they could have converted more of is a 3-ball launched front iron is turning turnovers into points off turnovers. Just 16 of them forced.
Speedy Claxton had told us that they didn't really want to send many people to the rim tonight. They were worried about getting back on D.
Jackson playing with a purpose early.
Oh, yes, and we talked about we need a Robin to go with Batman, and Bol Bowen started the push early, and now we've got Jackson kind of giving it from his side. It's nice to see the bench contributing for Florida State.
Coach Ham, 3-time ACC Coach of the Year. Leonard Hamilton is Florida State basketball.
Yes, he's historical here, and you know, not a lot of people really read into that, but really true basketball fans that have stuck with basketball and Florida State, they know how good he is. 5th winningest coach in the ACC. He's breathing on the heels of Roy Williams, the infamous North Carolina coach. Being from North Carolina, Leonard himself, it means a lot to be in the ACC, being the Gastonia native and growing up around, you know, the Tar Heel footprint up there.
Jackson misses both free throws, an area that Florida State's team has struggled as a unit. Nice work by the outstanding freshman Daquan Davis, getting a hand on it, but just 66% so far for the Noles from the charity stripe. That's an area that Leonard Hamilton emphasizes year in and year out.
Yes, that is not normal Florida State basketball, and it's not a winning percentage, you know. You've got to make your free throws from the charity stripe. It's crucial.
What a feed, wraparound layup is good by Graham.
Stats Saunders right there, feeding the stats, getting him an assist. Great look to feed Graham in the post.
Oh yeah, they call him Stacks. Jaquan Sanders, the junior from Far Rockaway, New York. Played last year at Seton Hall. 12 points against his former team a couple of weeks ago. On the catch, it's Dang, the transfer from Hampton. Double team comes, good find, kick out. Watkins thought about the 3, puts it on the deck and attacks. It's in off the rim, he is fouled. Jamir Watkins is a steam engine coming at you downhill.
Saunders going to the rim, sees he's got the help up and leaves it down low with an easy soft bounce pass. Passes it through the defense to Graham. Nice little soft finish on the weak side using the backboard and the rim to protect it.
Little 6-0 spurt now for Hofstra after falling behind 8-0. Jaquan Sanders, a career high 24 points against Iona earlier this season. Speedy Claxton saying that's our best shooter.
He's over there. He's over there, like giving him a little earful because he thinks Jamir Watkins double dribbled over here in the corner, and he should have never got to the foul in his mind. That's what he's pleading his case about. But it got knocked loose, and the referee saw it as not a double dribble.
Watkins will cash in on the first of 2, averaging 18.5 points per game so far here now in his senior season. Transfer from VCU, that's more like it from Jamir, who has struggled from the charity stripe so far to start.
100%. He left 8 freebies on the board down at Rice in Houston. He had a career high. Could have thrown in 8 more points if he'd just made some free throws. Which is what he said about his accomplishments that game. He goes, I wish I'd have made more free throws.
And he continues to get there at an elite clip to the line.
His ability to go to the rim, he's sneaky. He can go through a closed door.
Sanders, screen set, uses it to the right. Good recovery defense from Florida State. Noles will switch everything 1 through 5. Aaron Gurn, double team comes. He's in a coffin corner, needs help. Needs help, throws it inside. Another pass, extra pass, 4 seconds. Down to the rim, towards the bucket, stolen away. Noles come away with the steal. Daquan Davis into the open court now. Thomas. Dang steps into a trailing 3. Off to the right, no good. Another area, Florida State. Cold start to shooting the 3 on the year.
Across the board, they've struggled from deep. No one's really consistently been able to knock down the outside shot.
Backdoor slip, the attack off the rim and in. It's a 2-point game. Cruz Davis showing you the strength in the upper body to finish.
Back-to-back big-time assists right there into the paint for the cutting offensive player to finish high.
Malique front irons a 3-ball. Aaron Gurin springs free into the open court. Pulls it back. Now the Pride will run some half-court offense. Sanders, good ball movement to the right side. Cross-court pass. Here's Davis working against Thomas. Now Sanders, under 10 on the shot clock again. 3-ball launched, back iron. Aaron Gurin, glass cleaned by the freshman Davis.
Not picking up where he finished off against UMass with that outside shot, but he's out there still settling in. These guys have not seen this pressure before. It's a new thing for them with this length. Sanders right here, bounce past it, in fluid motion with the finish right there by Cruz Davis.
Jacob, you've heard opposing coaches talk about against Florida State's pressure defense, how you have to play off 2 feet. You've got to be able to make that extra pass, be able to stop on 2 feet and keep yourself controlled and just try and work against the pressure.
Yes, and what Florida State really does is they pressure the ball. And so it makes it hard to get that other pass, and they don't really realize that long guy is jumping into pass lane, and that's what's happening to Hofstra.
Davis calls his own number, pulls the mid-range J8. No, Malique rebound, foul called. It will stay on this side of the court. Silas Sunday, guilty of the foul. 7-footer, 282 pounds from Ireland.
Big guys coming in, really getting loose, and you can see the box out here. He's riding him out, and you've got to let a guy land. When he goes up, you've got to give him a safe landing on the ground.
Here Malique, 7-foot freshman. The potential in the ceiling. Incredible as Davis thought about the 3.
The freshman from overtime elite.
Ball thrown up and in by Malique. How about the big man swooping across the lane?
Hey, Malique, he's still figuring his body out. He's a young guy. He's getting his body moving, but nice, clean cut across the lane. A good finish high over the defense.
12-8 Florida State. Hovering now under the 12 media timeout range. Noles by 4. Hofstra beat Florida State back in 2015 in the Paradise Jam. An upset from Mihalovich at that time. Turnover again. Florida State's length has forced 4 turnovers in the early going. That takes us to our break. Alir Malique, Jacob, outstanding size and potential for the big man.
The big young fella right here putting it on the floor, reaching up high over Sunday, the 7-footer, and finishes right softly at the rim.
Seminole Heritage game in Tallahassee. Florida State leading Hofstra 12-8. The Noles hot start, 10 points in the early going, just 2 points since. Hofstra has worked its way back into the contest. Jacob, what have the Pride done well to slow the Noles down?
Well, they got Malique Ewin in foul trouble, which got him off the floor because he was making his presence felt.
Oh! A.J. Swinton high above the rim.
Thomas with the lob. He saw Swinton cutting back door and just gave him a perfect pass right there to throw it home. And just what Speedy Claxton said he wanted to take away during shoot-around this morning is don't give up the lobs.
Oh, A.J. Swinton said, Jacob, I need you to put a pin in your thought on what Hofstra's doing well. I'm attacking. Block at the rim. Couple of Noles there. Swinton into the open court.
Swinton talled up with him right there on that baseline drive. Back-to-back phenomenal plays by the freshman.
Malique to Thomas. Thomas, big game against the Gators with 3 threes in a row. Finished with 11. Interior pass deflected. And now 10 on the shot clock. Daquan Davis. Davis weaves, gets into the butt, gets into the paint, kick out. Dang's got to get something up. Contested 3 off to the right, may not have caught rim.
Tough look by Dang. He should have set his feet. He didn't have to shoot that thing floating sideways.
Sanders stops, kick, Aaron Gurin. Not shy, lets it fly, he connects. Aaron Gurin.
Penetration, sucking the defense over, and Stats Saunders just hitting him right in rhythm for Aaron Guerin to knock that 3 down.
Jacob, 36% on the year for Aaron Guerin. Thomas, he dragged his pivot foot treble.
That's a good point on Aaron Guerin. He's really the big body downhill guy. But right here you see it wasn't the big body downhill guy, it was the athletic dude in Swinton flying high. Thomas with the lob from deep. And Swinton just flushing it home on top of the Hofstra Pride.
Long, lengthy, athletic A.J. Swinton, the first commit of Florida State's 2024 class for Leonard Hamilton. Still trying to figure out how to play with his body at this point.
Yes, the Cabin John, Maryland native, Oak Hill Academy attendee, is still getting his legs in him, so to speak, but he's done some good things for Florida State.
See Plotnikov in the game alongside Robinson. 3-ball launch deep off to the right, rebound by Need2. They got a hand on it, picked up by Thomas. Noles want to run. Watkins on the bench at the moment. Need2 steps into a 3, rattles out. Did they call a 3-second violation or a foul away from the ball?
I think we got a foul away from the ball down low. Bol Bowen with the offensive foul on the rebound, trying to clear space. Had Plotnikov all frustrated, kind of looking at the refs like, don't let him do that to me. But Hofstra's hanging tight. It's 14-11. With Florida State's run early, they've stayed right with it with these guards. They are not intimidated.
Good ball rotation. Robinson tries another 3. He connects.
Robinson, 4 for 14 for the season, coming in at 28%. He's knocked them down back to back.
Robinson back in his home state. The Apopka native. Florida State answers with a 3. Taylor Bol Bowen showing you his range.
That's his first really good jump shot since the opening night. It's nice to see Bol Bowen showing up tonight. He's flying all over the place and making it happen offensively.
17-14, Florida State by 3. Keyshawn Robinson guarded by Need2. Crossover dribble, Robinson looking for a seam, kicks it out, Plotnikov. The Belarusian. Robinson attacks, deflected, ball taken away. Watkins back into the game, has it. Noles want to run. Need2 off the glass, no good. Tip up, no good. Couple of good looks for Florida State at it, and Hofstra will come away with the board.
May need to pull that thing out and run a little offense instead of trying to force a quick, fast break.
Great slip, oh, but he travels. Silas Sunday shuffled those feet.
They said the big fella's young. He's still trying to get settled in here with Hofstra, but he had a good look. Tough break for the big guy.
32 games a season ago for Iona.
Coach Claxton's like, come on, big fella, stay with me.
It's been a challenge. Yeah, it's been a challenge for Speedy Claxton. You see Florida State and the depth that they've been able to run. Speedy Claxton doesn't go into his bench a whole ton. Last year, over 20 wins. They had a top 20 D1 experience roster in terms of the number of years guys have played at the D1 level this season in the 200s.
No question.
As they travel on Florida State.
Got a little foot movement.
Well, Noles 17, Pride 14. Offense been tough to come by, but the 3-party starter for both squads.
John Johnson from deep, the Florida native, just swishing it through the net and back down with Bol Bowen deep for Florida State. Bam.
Program defense into offense. The Noles 6 turnovers forced into 6 points. They've got 2 blocks as well, active on that side of the ball.
Malique Ewin extending, blocking that shot out of bounds, and Bol Bowen with the steal early, jumping the passing lanes, and staying with the deflection and still finishing. The defense to the offense, but they got to get the offense settled because they haven't really scored much since the defense has not turned them over as much. Hofstra settled in to this defensive pressure a little bit.
Aaron Guerin, the Venezuelan, nearly threw the ball out of bounds. How was that saved? Aaron Guerin comes away with it. Pride try to recover. The Noles get back on defense. On the attack, flipped up, no, around the arms of Need2. Watkins comes away with it. And Jamir will push the break. Puts his head down, trying to get to the rim. Kick out, Holt. Need2, ball on the deck. Thomas. Watkins, mid-range pulls, he's fouled. Smooth off the glass, it won't count.
If you put two hands on a defender on the perimeter, it's going to be a foul all night long, Aria. And right when Jamir faked on Kejon, and he just went with him, put his hands up trying to stop him, it's going to get him all night long. But on this rebounding situation, Florida State is being out-rebounded currently by Hofstra. Coming off a night where they got out-rebounded by 18 with Florida, they have got to do a better job of keeping them off the glass. They can't get out-rebounded by these guards and one big man.
No doubt, 47-29 was the rebounds battle between the Noles and the Gators. Stan Jones telling me earlier today, we saw in stretches what Florida State can be, what we think we can be. If you think UF's a top 20 team, well then for large portions of that, you saw what it took to be a top 20 caliber basketball team. The consistency is going to be the key now for Florida State.
And they're young. They're still finding themselves. Bert Smith right there on top of it. Can't take off running until you put it on the floor, young guy. Bol Bowen's, he's still growing too. He's a sophomore. You forget, and he's a young sophomore. But he's got such a good-looking body, and it makes you think he's older. And Coach Hamilton is sending in the troops and keeping them rotating.
Sanders looked for the quick hitter, trying to beat that pressure, and this is why Florida State's defense, once it gets going, is tough. Need to, ball on the deck, hop, step, kick out, he traveled. Oh, the freshman, I think just trying to do too much.
Yes, you know, he's a FIBA player, he's from Canada, and you get a little extra movement up above the line up there when you cross into international basketball. But yes, he's trying to be a little too active, just get a jump stop, get a good pass, you know.
I have a joke there about James Harden. I'm just not going to do it. Florida State picks it up in the full court. The Seminoles have forced 7 turnovers here in the early going. The defense has allowed the Noles to a 3-point lead. Offense, however, in the half court has been a struggle for both sides. Here's Davis, kick out. Sanders alone for 3, rims out. Long rebound comes down to Jackson. And the Noles will try and quickly get down the court. Jackson drops Aaron Gurin. He attacks off the glass. Might have got a hand on it. Did Sunday. And now the Pride down 3. Can cut it to 1 or tie with the 3. Plotnikov fires. Too long, rebound, Watkins. He's got 3 of them. Now Holtz, kick, Dang, good 3-point shooter. Knocks it down from the left wing.
Got the defense commit, Holt pulled him to him and just kicked it out to Dang. Dang playing it, Howard, has done a couple games against Hofstra himself.
10 points per game in those 3 contests against Hofstra with Dang at Hampton. The CAA, some transition in that conference, a new conference name, going from the Colonial to the Coastal. Oh, how about Watkins? Deflects it out of bounds. You can really see the length bothering Hofstra. They have yet to face a team so far that can get up in your grill with that kind of length. As we take a look, this is a welcome sight for Florida State fans.
As soon as Holt caught that thing, he turned to attack. Look at Plotnikov, commits, no one closes. Dang's out there shooting ducks on a pond. That big fella can shoot the ball. He's 35% from 3 right now, but that's climbing because he's close to a 40% shooter for his career.
Now he's got a 3 made in all 5 games for Florida State. Oh, how about Sunday? Old school flipping it in.
Silas Sunday didn't even leave his feet. Just a little soft baby hook up there looking like the old school NBA.
Kick out, Dang's got 1. This time kicks it out, Holt. He fires a 3. That's knocked down. Boston Holt, all 3 of those. The transfer from South Dakota.
That's one of the best offensive sets Florida State's run all night. It's really in transition like a secondary break, but to Malique to come through with the ball, kick it back out to Holt. Holt being patient, let the defense rotate to him, and Dang in the corner for a nice little jumper.
Talking to my buddy Austin Veazey of NoleGameDay.com on Sports Illustrated about the comparisons between a Boston Holt and a Raekwon Evans. The body type, not just the cool slick hair, but the way they play the game. Not a bad comparison, and that experience oh so important. Foul called down low.
Sunday right here with the soft little baby release up high for a big man, and then Dang with the kick to Holt, giving him the chance to knock that wide open look down there. Teamwork makes the dream work, they like to say. But Boston Holt there, the transfer, he's a little well-traveled coming out of Portland, Oregon, but he's got that body, the big kind of guard like Leonard Hamilton likes.
No doubt over 100 career games between the 3 different schools in the junior college that he played at. Gurin attacks, floater, rolls around, falls off the rim. Watkins corrals the rebound for his 4th.
That size is there, and the Hofstra's not used to that big, long bodies in the way.
Jackson gets to a good spot and will go to the line.
Jackson doing the thing you got to do. If you can't make the shot, if it's not falling, attack. Transition right there. Took it right at his man and got hacked on the arm. Going to go try to get him a couple baskets. 78% free throw shooter. Look at it. Almost cleared out a little bit, but he hit him. Cruz Davis, the quickest guy on the team, but he still nailed him on the arm.
Jackson, who's playing with a purpose and getting to spots here tonight. Leonard Hamilton challenged Chandler, a player who only lost once in his high school career, playing at Christian Brothers Academy over there in Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, went to 2 state titles. Last season, you saw flashes of what he could do. 19 against Boston College, 17 against Virginia, and the defense that Tony Bennett employed.
He had some really strong games. A lot of excitement for Leonard Hamilton and his staff. And it's nice to see him doing some good things tonight. He hasn't really got out of the gates like people expected, but he's kept a positive attitude and played really strong defense and trying to make it happen offensively.
1 game after a season high 9 against Florida. He's got 6 early tonight against the Pride. Noles by 9. Open 3. Corner pocket, no. Offensive rebound. Pass. Again, those arms of Florida State deflected. Turnover. Noles will look to run. Watkins, he's tough when he gets to that right hand. Good defense to deter him for the time being. Watkins fouls as he gets to the fadeaway. Florida State will be on the line when we return. They lead by 9. Here's the under 4 media timeout. Florida State leading by 9 in this Seminole Heritage Night in Tallahassee. The sophomore from Rochester, New York, Jerry Dang, a familiarity with his Hofstra program, playing in the CAA for Hampton 1 season ago. And Dang, who has averaged nearly 12 points per game in those contests, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and on a larger scale, that's what he brings to the table for Florida State, Jacob. Length, athleticism, and the Noles really need a guy they can count on to hit the 3 from beyond the arc.
His long-term growth here at Florida State, he's 6'9". He can really shoot the ball. He's a lot like a PJ Savoy going back to the 18, 19, 20 teams for Florida State, who would go in and was really a shooter first and foremost. And PJ was only for a short time at Florida State with 2 years. But this Dang's got a chance to be that shooter that make things happen when you got to get a clutch shot for Florida State. And Jamir Watkins here feeling way more comfortable at the free throw line tonight than he's been of late. Shooting it a good bit better.
Quiet first half for him. That rattles in. He's got just 4 points, all coming from the free throw line. And so the Pride and Speedy Claxton have done a nice job on Florida State's star preseason All-ACC member.
They were talking about defending him and staying up on him and not letting him get good looks, which has happened so far. But Jamir's going to run him out of gas if he gets his way in the second half.
Double-digit lead now for the Noles here in this first half, leading by 11, 27-16. Florida State's length has bothered Hofstra. Oh, and it does it again. Turnover there, kicked out of bounds. That is number 9 for Hofstra in the first half, Jake.
Usually you could cut that baseline. Sanders is coming to the baseline. He's trying to whip it to the backside corner, weak side corner. That's not possible with those big long arms taking up the out-of-bounds pass.
And how difficult is it when Florida State switches 1 through 5?
When you're not used to it, it's very difficult. And they're adjusting a little bit, but it's still not normal.
Watkins still looking for his first field goal make from the floor. That rattles out.
Veterans just got to let it come to him. He'll get his as the game goes.
Gurin wants to play that power style, gets into the paint. That is crafty from the sophomore from Venezuela.
They about had a tent pitched in there camping. He rotated 3 or 4 times on that pivot foot and still scooped it up over the defense.
He's got 7. Pride back into single digits for the time being. Under 3 to play. Watkins, Florida State in this motion offense. Cross-court pass, Dang, ball movement, Davis. Under 10 on the shot clock, Davis behind the back dribble. Kick out Watkins, calls his own number 3, ball is short. Rebound to the Pride, Gurin. He can really corral the boards. Had a double-double against UMass over the weekend.
11 rebounds, 20 points. Cooked
Gotta
them in
love
the
a guard
second
willing
half.
to crash the glass, huh?
You know,
Look what it leads to.
Yes, you know, a rebounding guard can take it and get on the run and find your big man down low right there with the soft pass to Graham.
Dang on the attack, floater high, left and short.
I think Dang was looking for the pass, expecting the defense to help up, but Claxton is big on leaving his big man in the middle of the paint defensively and not moving up.
We just saw Khalil Farmer in the match here in this game get a touch. Hofstra's got the last 4 points, looking to continue to whittle down this deficit. Cross-court pass, one extra pass, 3 ball is back iron. 2 strong, rebound, Jackson. Here's Chandler Jackson. Watkins wide open for 3. Doesn't have the touch. Boy.
Coach Claxton talked about pushing them off the line. It's like a shooting contest right now. No one wants to run any offense. They want to jack up threes.
A lot of bricks. Nice pass in transition and 1.
Gary Dang in transition with the look. You see Malique crashing down the middle of the lane. Soft pass, unselfish play.
Alir Malique able to absorb that contact and knock it down with the right hand.
Look at Dang, sees his teammate floating down the middle, tosses it to him for the soft finish. It goes with the contact, gets fouled basically twice, lays it in on the front of the rim.
The Florida State team who defensively top 10 in the country in block percentage per Ken Pump. 7th in the country. They block about 21% of the shots that go up.
That's an impressive stat.
It is, and the big part of that is Alir Malique, who they feel could be like Ike Obiagu in the way that he rim rejects. They're inside.
When he grows into his body, as far as just becoming a year older, weight room, strength, conditioning.
Floater, Aaron Gurn, I think a Seminole slapped the glass, hit the rim, it'll count.
You're hyping up Malique right there. He just smacked the backboard as automatic goaltend. Got a little rim with it too. But we're talking about Watkins here just a moment ago. He's got to let the game come to him. But Claxton said at the shoot around he was going to push him out, and he's been doing that. And he's got to get one step closer. He's shooting too far, too deep.
Florida State will take a 30-second timeout. We take another look.
Luke comes in, hand in the rim, goaltending all day long.
There's no reason for it. That shot was not going in. It's a free 2 points. They are going to keep looking at it.
Veteran crew, like you said, Bert Smith right there on the camera, checking out the monitor. He's solid. But we're talking about Watkins. They've got him pushed out, and he's got to get in closer on that jump shot. He's shooting a 25, 26-foot jumper. He should get another dribble in there.
I chatted with Jamir Watkins before today's game, and he spoke on the leadership and how last year he went to the NBA Combine, and they talked about they want to see him improve that 3-point shot. It's a big area of focus for him because already everyone knows that his strengths are getting to the basket. He absorbs contact, he's versatile, he defends at a high level, he rebounds, he's willing. Swiss Army knife type that can do a lot of things. It's just hitting the tray ball that's going to be the difference between him getting into the second round or even maybe into the first round with a big season.
Right, and the kicker also on that is it's one of Leonard Hamilton's favorite phrases that he loves to tell his players is, don't show them what you can't do, right? So if you're not making your jumper tonight, don't shoot it. If you're not making your 3, don't take it. You know, take what they give you. And there's a couple scouts in the building tonight, and it's not going to kill him, but it's, you know, you don't want to have consistent bad nights and show them what you're struggling with.
He's 3 of 22 this season now with the 3 misses tonight from 3. Turns it over there. Aaron Gurren into the open court, throws it up, he's fouled. Took on 2 Seminoles in the open court.
Jackson,
Hofstra getting things back into it.
Yes, those guards, they're not scared. They're New York City kids, they're tough. They know what they got to do. They're going to the rim. You know, Aaron Gurren loves to go at the rim. Look at that deflection. He's just pushing it, head down, going through the contacts, not scared at all to go in there and just get hammered. Go get his free throws. 76% from the free throw line.
That first one's a no good there, Jake.
They had jinxed him.
Had 25 points against Old Westbury in the season opener. That is his career high. Does knock down the second, and Hofstra It was down double digits a couple of minutes ago. Has it within 6. And they played for that 2-for-1. There should be some time left. Florida State will whittle it down as much as they can. Here's Davis working against Aaron Gurin. He's got 10. First double-figure score for either team.
Expect a ball screen here in a second.
5. Davis 4. Davis inside, kicks it. Watkins 3, launches it, buries it. Davis to Watkins, and the tray ball is goal.
That corner shot's a little shorter, forced him to take a closer shot in rhythm. Nice.
And it works out to be a perfect half-ending scenario for Florida State. They lead by 9, Jake.
4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist. He is really Mr. Do-Everything for Hofstra also.
Florida State has had 8 players record a point in the score sheet. What a backdoor cut and a goaltend. Hofstra draws something up pretty. Coach, to get them on the board.
Coach Claxton showing his skills, coming out of the timeout, halftime break, getting him an easy look.
Got to find a way to get Cruz Davis going, huh? Just 2 points in that first half. He's got 2 here in the second. Davis averaging 16 on the year. Good ball rotation. Jackson steps into a 3, front iron. Left and short. Florida State does enough to keep the ball.
You talk about Cruz Davis. First thing, Cruz Davis at 6'3", that's an aggressive 6'3", and all the guards on the floor are bigger than him for Florida State. But also, he's a get downhill and attack the rim guy, and his defense is keeping him on the perimeter. He can't get those open run-ups to the rim like he's used to this season.
Not on the same page with Malique Ewin, who really sat for large portions of that first half, picked up those 2 early fouls.
You nailed it. 4 minutes and 34 seconds after probably having the best 4 minutes and 34 seconds he's had here at Florida State. Jamir Watkins thought he was going to stay, but he spun baseline, and the pass was errant, out of bounds.
Florida State 8 turnovers of their own to the 9 of Hofstra. So the Noles have not protected the ball all that well either. Rattles in and out. That was Jaquan Sanders, not shy of pulling.
You know, when they're struggling offensively a little bit, 34.5 shooting in the first half here for Hofstra.
Watkins knocks down a 3.
He's not struggling, back-to-back threes. Last 2 shots he's taken from deep, he's knocked down. Looks way more comfortable out there, but back to Hofstra. Coming off that UMass overtime game Saturday night, playing 36, 37, 38, 39 minutes for those guards. It's going to be interesting to see how their legs hold up on these jumpers.
Nice move all the way. The attack not there for Davis. Foul called.
That's Davis's go-to move. He got the look he likes. Got a hard drive at the rim, but they met him up there with some size. Holt, the penetration, great bounce pass around Graham. Jamir Watkins just straight away. Look at this clean look by the point guard. Watkins, bing, bang, boom, bottom of the net.
Watkins has 10, now in double figures for the 4th time in 5 games this season. Ewin, post touch, athletic move, wraparound layup, not there.
Take it through his chest. Go right through him, big fella. Don't go around him.
Aaron Gurin struggles, recovers, bounce pass, kick ball.
It's more bodies than he's used to seeing. To Florida State, they're cutting everywhere. Legs, arms, everything's active. It's not what you're accustomed to with some of these other teams that just play a sag back pack line. No aggression.
That is the hallmark of Leonard Hamilton in his tenure at Florida State. Long, lengthy, athletic. 3 ball is there. Corner pocket, knocked down by Davis. He's got 5 in the second half.
46% from 3, not surprised to see the open look go down. Got to get to him, can't let him have a clean look.
Bol Bowen puts the ball on the deck, drives baseline, cut off there, he stepped out.
Trying to plant and cut back, stepped on the end line. Penetration, kick out, defense doesn't get there. They went below the screen right there. You see both of them, Jamir Watkins and Bol Bowen, both went under that screen on the baseline and left Cruz wide open in the corner. Got Dang back in. We'll see what Dang can do. He's a shooter.
Jackson picks up Aaron Gurin in the full court. Here's Aranguren. Attacks to the rim. Switches hands and finishes.
With the left. He's a lefty, but hey, he still used that rim to protect it, to get it up strong.
Jackson trying to respond. That rattles off to the left. Offensive rebound and a jam for Ewin.
Malique Ewin following his own shot. Best rebounder on the floor. Did a great job just going up and exploding through the net to bust that thing through the rim.
Ewin's now got 4 points along with 2 rebounds. Limited action in the first half, saddled with those 2 fouls. Aranguren under the basket, looking for cutters, kicks it out instead. Ball on the deck, movement, extra pass and a 3. This is starting to look like Hofstra Pride basketball. Sanders connects.
Getting clean looks, they're settled in, crisp passes, knocking it down. Unselfish play on the perimeter from those guards.
Just a 4-point deficit early. Now for the Pride, Ewin, oh, it's too much. Gorgeous spin move to the basket.
Ewin's feeling it, played point guard some in junior college, and you can see he's comfortable with the ball out on the perimeter, dribbling and just dribbled around until they got that look he wanted.
Florida State extends the lead back to 6. Backdoor cut, feed inside. Turquoise collapses, doesn't matter. Michael Graham able to use the glass.
Jackson all over him, trying to deflect that ball, and Graham staying with it to finish. Showing you the veteran senior leadership, 5th-year player.
Watkins again from deep. That's not going to fall. Into the attack. Oh, and Ewin touched I think he touched the rim.
Ewin followed him, trying to get that block. Right there, nailed the rim instead. Can't do that, got the Pride all excited. Ewin's regretting that deflection. Should have kept his hand out. Look at this penetration with the finish, using the rim for protection. Ewin dribbles right around Graham. Woof, look at this bad boy, finishing softly over it.
Hofstra has stormed back to cut the deficit to just 2. Florida State was up double digits at the end of the first half and by 9 heading into the second half. But the Pride have shot 75%, 6 of 8 here in the early going before the first media time out of the second half. On the bright side for FSU, Ewin has looked pretty good here.
Yes,
in the second half.
Good to have him back from Florida State, but Sanders is the one, the stat stuffer himself. He's really doing some good things out here. 2 for 2 for their threes for Hofstra here in the second half. And they've taken over the scoring in the paint. They've got 20 points in the paint to Florida State's 18.
Jackson able to save it, 10 on the shot clock, does not reset. Watkins fires a 3, it rims out. Rebound, Graham. He's had a quietly nice game, hasn't he?
He does. He just stays in there and stays the course, and he's able to use it. Got a 7-foot wingspan at 6'9", and he's able to reach out there and grab a lot of rebounds you don't anticipate.
Hofstra can tie or take the lead. Graham's got 8 points, 8 rebounds. Davis working against Dang. Euro step, tries to finish, can't. Ball is deflected. Ewin comes away with the Noles. Want to run.
Look at that big man bringing it up the floor right there, so comfortable.
Thomas for 3 from that left wing.
He's trying to show you those 11 points against Florida weren't a fluke. He's one of those guys off the bench that Leonard Hamilton's excited about for his depth and his athleticism. Says he's his best pickup player, which in layman's terms mean his boy can just hoop.
His first shot attempt of the game after having double figures against Florida. Backdoor cut. Deflected, stolen away, turnover, front court, Jackson flushes it and he's fouled. The rim rocker for Chandler Jackson.
getting him on the gates, getting him on the scoreboard, makes him feel better. But you know, it started down here with Thomas knocking down the three, getting back on defense. Jumps right here, jumps that passing lane, deflects it. Malique Ewin grabs it. Unselfish pass. Jackson going up, taking the contact from Gadsden. And just not trying to back rim it, but gets it over the front and makes sure he gets it in so he can go up there and try to get that and one. Old-fashioned way three-pointer.
It felt like Florida State needed a momentum lift as Hofstra was starting to climb back into it. It's a game of runs, they say.
It's 39-37. Now they're up. That's a 5-point swing right here and make it 6. Huge play by Florida State these last 2 possessions.
And how about Chandler Jackson now? 9 points to go along with 3 rebounds.
The freshman Davis checking in.
It was the second half against Florida that Davis really came to life. Gurn, great feed, but Florida Stayed again quick to the ball.
Jamir Watkins saw it coming. Watkins deflected it away.
Here's Davis, right corner, triple off to the left. Long rebound, Gurn. Tried to leak out into transition. The freshman takes it away. Here's Watkins. Showtime.
That depth we talked about right there, running them down. You make mistakes when you get a little fatigued. Those guards being active. 3 straight possessions, defensive plays by Florida State. With the hammer time sandwiched in by Jamir Watkins.
Florida State, the lead swells quickly back to 10 for the Noles. Gurn, shoulder down, stops at the elbow, deflected. Noles long arms again. Dang was looking for some help. It'll stay with the Pride.
Davis with that deflection, then Jamir Watkins rattles it, pulls it in, and he goes in for the rim rattling dunk. Up strong. Boom, baby. Even the bench is getting excited. Jamir Watkins looking like another day at the office jogging down the floor.
He'll take a seat. Oh, yet another turnover. And Davis run into from behind by Robinson. This Noles defense can be suffocating when it's clicking on all cylinders.
You nailed it there. The 12-man, 13-man rotation that he can go into. The scoring drought of 2 minutes and 32 seconds right now for Hofstra after they came out and just bam, bam, bammed them. And Florida State just said, turn the knob, grab that knob on the defense and turn the pressure up.
Jacob, what had Hofstra done better to protect the ball early going in the second half?
Well, they've been making mistakes because they've let this defense surprise them. They played against it in the first half. Stay calm, make the easy pass. You can't penetrate past these guys with simple passes. You've got to make the defense move before you can make those passes.
Speedy Claxton really credited Gurn and Cruz Davis with the ability as Ewin couldn't finish. Taps it up and in. He stays with it. Oh, the activity level from Malique Ewin.
He's got a little spring in his step tonight, but he's got such a soft touch up there, Aria, that he doesn't hit it too hard. He's not really trying to bring it back down. He just goes right up there and just uses his fingers to tap it in.
A foul called away from the ball. Freedom of movement initiative this season in college basketball. They're really going to crack down on these types of hand checks beyond the arc.
Anything before conference play that you touch somebody on the perimeter, you can count that one. It's going to be a foul.
Noles by 12. The drive, Sanders flips it in. That's nice.
The floater coming in there, kind of crossed up the D, kind of settling back down, getting back into pace right here, but they still down 10. They're going to get some stops.
Sanders averages 15 a game. That was just his 5th point. Thomas flipped up by Swinton. No rebound, ripped down. There by 33 Sunday. Hofstra wants to run. 3 launched in transition off to the right. Rebound Swinton.
All the guards getting back for Hofstra. No one's there for that long rebound.
Thomas backing down Robinson, lost the handle, looking for help. Swinton, straight away 3 launched. In and out, no good, and he's fouled. It was Dang just crashing the glass. He'll go to the line.
Dang right there. making a big-time play, deflecting that rebound and getting fouled. Look at this bench. They're fired up. Everybody's fired. Jamir Watkins thanking his teammate for the pass. And then Jackson letting you know about it after he gets that thing in. Boom, baby. For Florida State is waking up here in the second half. The clean little finish right there, dribbling down, sending it in with the pass from Holt. Block, Hardy also, don't bring it in here, he says. Getting the rebound, staying with it, using the rim for protection, hammering it down. And then let's take it up. I'm gonna take it up the floor. I'm 6'11", I can handle the ball. I'm a point guard, giving it to Jackson. And his teammates over here are all fired up for the excitement. You got Dang up here at the free throw line, but you know, Malique Ewin right there, you can see him, number 12. He has really made his impact here in the second half. Went out early with his 2 fouls and didn't get to really keep going on his momentum he built early, but now he's checking out, getting a little backup from Malique, but
well, Ewin, nice. a former 4-star player out of high school, a challenging road traveled, right, by Malique. So many stops, becomes the junior college player of the year, and comes to Florida State. What do you think he adds to FSU?
Well, he's a skilled big man. Leonard Hamilton's called him his best skilled big man he's had, and that's a strong statement. But you don't usually see a man 6'11" that can handle the ball, pass the ball. He's got 2 assists tonight. You got to give him credit when credit's due. And then Thomas, here he is, still making things happen.
Into the front court, Switten tries to hang as he slices across the lane. A little too strong. Noles by 12 after the 2 free throws from Dang. 3 ball, straight away, buried it. Jaquan Sanders.
Don't let that guy get a look. He's a stat stuffer. That's why his nickname's Stats, but he can shoot the ball, pass the ball, and take it to the rim on you, but it's knocking down some threes.
Davis uses the right side of the glass. He was fouled by Sunday here on a Tuesday.
Clean look. The defense didn't get there. Freshman Swinton didn't close out fast enough. Can't give these veteran guards for Hofstra a chance to get a good look at that rim because they're going to go eat. Get them a snack. 3-pointer.
Hofstra's 5 of 19 from beyond the arc. Florida State 6 of 19. But it's been the Noles getting to the basket here in this game. Ewin, who continues to get valuable experience here at this D1 level. He's on the bench, but Ewin does have those 8 points and 4 rebounds as Davis, the talented freshman, knocks down a pair. 53-42. Under the 11-minute mark here in the second half. A very good Hofstra team, picked 4th in the CAA preseason poll. Very well could win that league. Folks high on Towson College of Charleston, and perhaps he should be high on the Pride, who have been the class of that league for a number of years now. Robinson finishes. 3 ball. Swinton, that'll go down. Will they count it? They will. And a foul underneath the basket will allow Florida State to continue to extend the lead.
Got a push in the back down there is what it looks like on that shot. Good to see the freshman Swinton knock down the outside jumper.
So they will actually call the foul on Florida State, not on Hofstra, but they say the basket was good before the foul.
Likely on the rebound. Couldn't really get a good look. We had a little blockage in our view down here, but pushing in the back.
It'll go on Jerry Dang. The Seminoles up 12. On the attack, the kick to the corner. Aaron Gurin, 3-ball, rattles out. Rebound cleared by Dang. Noles want to push. Into the front court, back to Dang. Straight away, 3 launched. Too strong. Aaron Gurin threw it out of bounds. Oh boy. Jaquan Sanders was cherry picking for the easy 2. And Aaron Gurin never had it cleanly.
He tried to make that pass. And Speedy Claxton, you can see he is not happy with the turnover because he knows these points are becoming hard to acquire here in the second half against this defense.
Hofstra is school in Hempstead, New York on Long Island. As that shot misses off to the right. And it's Malique who will go to the line. Man, he's going to be fun to watch, isn't he?
Oh.
Alir Malique.
He's growing into it. Aaron Gurin with the foul. Notice it with the international numbers that got instituted last year, and Aaron Gurin's like wearing number 7, and as they go to the table, like they give you a 5 and a 2. Well, the 7's supposed to be a sideways 2, but tonight a couple of these referees are not showing us their numbers. It's kind of hard for you and I to tell who these fouls are on. They're not. Come on, guys, we need the stripes helping us too.
Bol Bowen re-enters. Stan Jones always coaching.
Giving Jerry Dang a couple pointers. The one thing they're not going to tell him is to stop shooting. They have complete confidence in his ability to shoot the ball.
Couple free throws there from Alir Malique. Looks good, doesn't it? Coming out of his hand. Good form there for the big man.
Such a soft touch.
5-second call. Hofstra couldn't inbound it. In the pressure from Florida State, they turn up the pressure again.
Coach Claxton, that drives any coach insane, especially a coach like Claxton with the experience he's had as a player in college and in the NBA. And they're just locking them up. You know, it's like you're not used to the passes not being there and you're scared to make the turnover.
14 turnovers now for Hofstra. Florida State again, one of the best in the country at forcing turnovers this season. Interior pass deflected out of bounds.
Heady play by Sanders right there. Jump the lane, deflect that thing out of bounds, not to give the layup to Thomas.
Jacob, you're talking of over a quarter of the possessions Florida State faces defensively, they force a turnover.
That's some impressive defense.
Speaking of 5-second calls, how about Hofstra dishing a little of their own medicine?
Turning over the Noles.
Coach Ham, Stan Jones, this staff, offensive foul, wow.
Great job by Davis to kind of sell the foul, but Keyshawn Robinson with that little elbow extension, they're gonna call it every time. You extend it. See right there, Coach Claxton is not loving what's happening here down this stretch.
Thomas is looking inside. Malique, double team comes. Thomas open 3. A foul called, whistle going the other way. It's against Florida State in those turquoise unis.
Malique and Bol Bowen both trying to pull that rebound. It's kind of hard to pick one to put the foul on because they both are right there trying to grab a hold of it.
Seminoles by 14 on their home court. Looking to improve to 4-1 on the year. Hofstra, a perfect start. They've been giant killers before. Robinson, 3, rattles out and back in. Thomas uses the screen, gets into the lane, fumbles the basketball, now to Davis. Baseline drive, Davis. Bol Bowen on the catch. He launches a 3. That rattles out. Offensive rebound, Thomas. Nothing inside. Davis fires a 3. He got it.
Thomas.
The tray ball there for Daquan Davis on the feed from Thomas.
Thomas so selfish right there. Had a chance to really get a shot up there short corner and hit his open teammate.
Robinson shouldered out, kick out, stepping into the mid-range jumper and knocking it down, German Plotnikov. 6'5" senior from Belarus.
I'm happy for the Belarusian, if that's correct, Aria, but it's his first made basket of the year. He's been struggling, but scored 20 last year at Northeastern, so he's capable of scoring, but he's been struggling.
Bol Bowen, dominant right hand, tap back, no. Bol Bowen attacks. A lot of turquoise attacking the glass. Kick out, Thomas. Picks up his dribble, needs help. Here's Malique. This will be a question for Florida State this season with Jamir Watkins on the bench. How do the Noles manage? Davis, head down, initiates. He traveled. Couple of whistles on the floor, and in the end, a turnover from Florida State. 7:23 to play, Noles by 12. Teams trading threes.
Jaquan Johnson right there, Keyjon. And then Davis with the open look from the top.
Instead of canceled, they'll play it in Tallahassee next Tuesday. All proceeds going to the Manna Food Bank. Should be a great cause. I hope you see a lot of fans come out. I'd love to see some Catamounts fans come out as well.
Being a North Carolinian myself, it's a soft spot for my heart. I used to go to Cherokee every summer. It's a beautiful area.
Gosh, it is, isn't it?
You know, like Florida's not the only place with a Native American history. North Carolina's got a strong pride in their Cherokee nation right there.
Cullowhee, Asheville, some beautiful places up there.
Absolutely. Even like the foothills of the mountains, like Murphy, North Carolina. You don't even think of that as being a mountain town, but it's a phenomenal little cool town.
Florida State baseball star and now Seattle Mariner Cal Raleigh and his family from Cullowhee, North Carolina, where Todd, his dad, coached baseball at Western Carolina. And so a connection there to the Noles. Now, while in a different sport connects us all.
Absolutely.
61-49. What a career Cal's having at catcher with the Mariners.
Hey, it's speaking of baseball, it's ironic. You know, you got Hofstra, their baseball coach, MLB baseball player too. You know, basketball and baseball coaches both are pros.
Yeah, the only school in the country who can claim that. Ewin, Noles by 12, under 7 to play in this ACC CAA battle.
Look at the handles on Ewin.
Watkins dials up the triple, rattles away off the rim, foul called. It was Bowen crushing the glass. Who will that be on?
Plotnikov just kind of shoved him out of the way. Bowen right there and just kind of chucked him. Gotta love that toughness. Looks like we're heading to the 1-and-1 here, Aria. They're adding up.
They are indeed, the 8th team foul. As both teams will head to the huddle. And that'll take us to a timeout. Florida State 61-49 by 12 on Seminole Heritage Night. The same start as last season when they went down to the Sunshine Slam and beat Colorado for that title. Arya Masudi, Jacob Ridenauer, our entire crew. 5th all-time meeting between Florida State and Hofstra. The Pride actually beating FSU in the Paradise Jam back in 2015. Dwayne Bacon, Malik Beasley on that team. A surprise that year, and it was tough because you're talking about a Florida State team that just missed getting into the tournament in the March Madness. That game could have been what kept them out.
Absolutely. Speedy Claxton, special assistant to the head coach on that team, was part of that victory. As they said to us in practice earlier today, it was like a program-defining win to beat an ACC school at that time.
And Speedy talked about the chemistry of this team being further along and the reality of losing some of your best players when you're at a school like Hofstra. Foul called there. A few years ago, Aaron Estrada decides to go to Alabama after Hofstra has that incredible season. And then Darlingstone Dubar, Jaquan Carlos, they go to Tennessee and Cuse this offseason. You're constantly trying to figure things out. It's a new normal, right, in college basketball, especially at the mid-major level. And they love the way that they've been able to start with 4 wins so far. He said, we're ahead of schedule in that department.
He said, I feel like a prep school coach. I'm getting them for 1 year. All the good ones are leaving. But it's the nature of the beast with this new system that's in place.
That's a nice little floater from the Apopka, Florida native Robinson. Cuts the lead to 12. And on Florida State's side, look, they say it's a brand new roster, right? Only 3 holdovers from a season ago. Coach Ham says, we're not perfect. We've got a lot of work to do. But in many ways, this group has been the most enjoyable group that he's had to coach in quite a while. He says they listen, and you can see it in shoot-around. They really are taking to the coaching of Leonard Hamilton and Stan Jones. These guys like being around each other, and that can prove dividends.
Both of these coaches love their squads. You know, they're happy with their acquisitions. It's basically what it is.
Watkins too strong. He's too big, too physical. And on that preferred right hand, it is automatic. He'll go to the line for 1 more.
He got Gaston on his heels and just kept going at him. And Gaston couldn't get his feet moving fast enough. So Scotty backing up, and he's inside the circle. Can't touch him. Look at that. Just contact. Just goes right through it. Lays it up soft. So silky smooth Watkins is. It's almost like he looks like he's playing without effort.
That's part of his game that has NBA draft scouts so intrigued. A couple of them here tonight.
Let's go back to Claxton for a second. He was talking to us earlier about how he kind of gelled his team, and he said a lot of dinners together. You know, and that's kind of how families are built, going to dinner and having conversation.
You mentioned team softball as well.
Right. I wanted to ask who was the best hitter on the team. That's what I really wanted to get to.
My money would be on Aaron Duran. I don't know why.
I'm with you.
Or I'd like to see the 7-footer.
She looked at his shoulders. That's why he said
get a crack at it.
Aaron Guerin's got a good-looking frame.
He's been impressive, decisive with the ball. Shot clock at 5. Oh. And a late whistle, foul called with 5 on the shot clock. That puts Hofstra in the bonus for the 1-and-1.
Aaron Guerin sold his foul. Looking straight at my man. Tucked him into the foul, but he got bumped a couple times. It's tough to play through that contact. See why he's player of the week in the CAA. Got Gadsden right here.
Gadsden, it's been a tough night for him. It was averaging 4.6 rebounds a game. Spent last year at Canisius and George Mason before that. Never quite got into the flow of this one. He'll be an important piece for them. Senior. Some experience needed.
He's been a key cog for him these first few games, 6 rebounds a game.
A group of New York City guys right on this team. Just like Speedy Claxton, they play with that tenacity.
They're all full of toughness.
They love having the ball in their hand. New Yorkers will tell you, give me the ball and move.
Hey, Rutgers Park's no joke up there.
No joke. Home and 1. Ewin, Noles by 13. He's got the mismatch he wants. To that right hand, he does finish. Soft roll, soft touch. And Malique Ewin into double figures. A lot of it coming in the second half.
With that contact, and that's what he's done the whole game. He sat for those fouls early, which cost him in the first half, but he is taking advantage of the minutes he's getting in the second half. And he's so soft finishing up at the rim.
Florida State by 15, a very good Hofstra team. One of the better programs in the mid-major ranks. Robinson, 3-ball parking lot, nope. Harengard, offensive rebound. Sanders to the rim, floats it in, and 1.
Big body coming at the rim. He is not afraid to go bang into you. What Coach Claxton calls his best shooter. He's not afraid to turn it down and attack.
Watkins might have took a poke to the eye.
Yeah, it's hard, those elbows when they're coming down. They got a little strength. Ewin with the rebound. Ewin, he's just kind of becoming comfortable this evening.
That's his 5th board. Look at him muscling it in. Block shot. Oh, he was fouled. 12. Michael Graham thought he had it clean. Instead, Ewin will be at the line when we return. Final media timeout. Florida State by 13. Ewin. Strong second half, Jacob.
in the boom, boom room. He's not scared. Boom, boom. Riding high are the Bengal Tigers. So they're really, that could be a buzzsaw trip down to Baton Rouge. And then you got the Final Four participant coming up right after that at NC State.
Strong night from Ewin. Misses that free throw. Thomas, energy level continued to ratchet up there for the Noles. They have played at an incredible energy level here tonight. The activity, the tenacity, and that's part of why Leonard Hamilton said, I like this team. Where we can be in February should be much further along. It could be a team that that's able to push for the NCAA tournament, that competes. We'll see in the ACC. It's going to be a good league again.
This Florida State team's offense has got to advance. Their defense is ahead of schedule and doing a really good job, as you can see it here tonight, the way they've contained the big three here for Hofstra. But that offense has got to get clicking.
Oh, from the parking lot, Sanders.
Hey, don't give him time to get situated, and there's a lot of time left if you're going to let him shoot it like that. Sanders drilling it from deep.
Alley-oop, oh baby! That's a grown man's jam for Taylor Bol Bowen.
Right there, Jackson, you thought he was going to jack a three, and it's like, hey, my man's wide open. Bol Bowen with the finish.
Now we got to get the dude who was balancing the ladder on his chin to join them in that circus act.
With the Werner ladders, official ladder.
In transition, the finger roll. Thomas missed it. He's going to want that one back.
Making up for it with the transition defense, jumping the passing lane.
Good effort there from Thomas. Ewin, hold. Didn't shoot the three.
Smart move, settling.
Intended for Bol Bowen, deflected out of bounds. Noles by 13. How about the feed and the finish?
Bol Bowen just catching it midair, throwing it down.
Talking to Coach Ham a couple days ago, he mentioned, look, we have so many passes that we keep bouncing in there to our post. We want to throw it up. We want to finish at the rim rather than trying to throw it low. Throw it high.
That's what's with new guys, right? They're not used to having bigs that you throw it up to. You're not used to playing with athletic guys. And you come from a smaller school, there's not somebody flying around the rim.
Coach Ham and Coach Jones were talking about Malique Ewin's game and development. They said he hasn't really had to go up against D1 caliber opponents, right? Against Florida, really his first true look at a top 20 caliber team with length, size, athleticism. He said he's been doing it at JUCO. This is a different growing experience, a learning experience. And as he gets through non-conference portion of this slate, he's going to continue to learn things, but he is showing some great signs for Florida State early.
Yes, he is, and it's, you know, in JUCO, you say it there, you nailed it. Until you advance in the playoffs, you don't play against high-level athletes because it's a lot of spread-out competition, and it's kind of watered down on a nightly basis. So he hasn't had a ton of experience really since his freshman year at Ole Miss when he got limited minutes.
They felt good about the way they played against Florida in stretches. As Watkins comes back, Stan Jones telling me earlier today, he said, look, Florida made some really tough shots. Walter Clayton hit some threes that doesn't matter who was covering them. And Florida really took advantage of every mistake we hit. We couldn't get 3 or 4 stops and scores in a row. We kept fighting back, right? Spurts. But the Gators, they show you why they're a top 20 team. Clayton, Elijah Martin, Will Richard, those are 3 1,000-point scorers that Todd Golden has. And FSU hung with them with 2 minutes left. It's a 4-point basketball game, 2-possession game.
They can fill some buckets down there in Gainesville.
So we'll see what Florida State does. Finishing touches here against a very good Hofstra team. You could argue after the Gators, this is the second-best team Florida State has faced on its schedule to date. And it looks like they're about to pass the test. Another alley-oop finishing high above the rim. Ewin, his strong night continues.
The unselfish play to throw the lob to your teammates. Florida State's doing such a good job of playing with amongst themselves and sharing the ball.
Well, Vegas and KenPom had this at about a 7 or 8 point game for Florida State. Giving Hofstra the respect they deserve, a chance to knock off Florida State here on its home court. Aaron Gurin, tired legs, leaves it short. But this is impressive from Florida State.
Yes,
They led with defense, which they will under Leonard Hamilton almost every night out.
They've run them down, you know, with the rotation, keeping the depth coming in. But these kids have not given up from Hofstra. You can see they're gassed out there. Saunders, Cruz.
Doesn't get easier for Hofstra as Jackson doesn't shoot the three. Holt has to fire one up at the buzzer. Oh, he buried it! Boston Holt way downtown.
It's a good spirit lifter for him. He's been struggling from deep a little bit. That's the second one of the night.
Watkins at the rim, lays it up and scores. And Florida State turned a close game into a comfortable victory here in the second half.
Watkins right there, thinking about giving it up. Wanted to give it to his teammate, but his best decision was to finish there strong at the rim with a little scoop shot layup. Holt just squares him up. Aranguren's not closing out strong. Just shoots it right over the top. And the lob to the big man, Ewin. Such unselfish play. Looking for your teammates.
Yeah, 10-0 run, Jacob, for Florida State over the last 2:42. They've hit their last 3 shots. They forced 3 more turnovers in that span. Now 20 on the night for Hofstra. And the Noles will get the Green Vipers into the game. The green team, I don't think you had that on your card walking into the Tucker Center tonight against Speedy Claxton's Hofstra team. And it doesn't get easier for Hofstra. Oh boy, they go and play Houston.
Oh, tough road trip. I think they're going straight down there from here.
Robinson, that's nice. How about Keyshawn Robinson only averaging 6 a game? He's shown well. Maybe something for Speedy Claxton.
Yeah, he had 8 at UMass the other night, so he's got to be excited to see this kid coming out, making things happen, giving him another offensive threat.
79-61. Jones will hold on to the ball. Florida State did it with defense, as they do under Leonard Hamilton. An impressive win against a very good Hofstra team. Here as non-conference play rolls on.